Don't make history, boys. Surprise is here. You filming? What? It's crazy.
Hard struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning.
We even met these guys here.
Oh man. Take into your hands and plan your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the nouns. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Two Fries Podcast, aka the #1 podcast in Winnipeg where we document the rise and stardom of Winnipeg's talent and personalities. Let's put some W's in the chat, shall we? Today we have a boys only, myself, Devin, Arshdeep. We're going to give some life updates. We're going to talk about some of the recent episodes we did. We did the behind the scenes of the Sea Bears, the process was like to go into the stadium, doing the podcast, some stories that you may not have seen from the podcast. Also, we talk about some life victories that we've had. Myself running the marathon, Arshdeep graduating, Devo being part of the business world, family, and life as a general. And as always, we love these boys only, so if you have more topics to send our way, please do. And until next time, enjoy the episode. We're going to start off with the biggest one.
Yeah.
Sea Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, we drove into the stadium.
We ran that thing for an hour.
Yeah, it was insane.
It was an experience, to say the least.
I'll put up some of the footage that we have so you guys can see while we're talking over. But
man, I remember the feeling of us like driving up and we're like, yo, do we like walk into the front gate? Like,
we talk about the process of actually getting in, like start to finish. So it starts with an idea, as most things do.
Yeah.
Yo, wouldn't it be cool to do the Sea Bears? Yeah, it would. What about center court?
Center court.
So that's how it starts. And then thankfully we have enough connections through the pod. Shout out David Asper to just send an email.
And it happened.
And then then everything starts just to line. A lot of calling back and forth, a lot of scheduling, but we were originally supposed to have it one day and then got canceled because they were doing floor repairs.
Yeah.
And then we just get a call, or no, I just get an email.
Yeah.
Thursday, 1 p.m.
Perfect.
Say less.
Doesn't matter if I had something on my schedule I don't anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
That's how that works.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy how the scheduling worked, and then where do you want it?
yeah.
Center court. Done.
Done.
And I'm like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's just three guys sitting in a living room, and now we're in the center court of the biggest stadium in Winnipeg.
I think it's hard to like imagine. Like even when we originally pitched it, I wasn't like too bought on the idea that they would let us do it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to realize like this was a stadium. There's like a 24-hour security there. There's like games going on back and forth that like.
Well, we walked in and they were still doing practice. Right?
Yeah, like there's things going on. Like it's a full-on arena.
Well, let's talk about like the day of, right?
Okay.
And so we know Thursday at 1:00 we have the podcast for sure. And so the day of we meet at like 11:30, 12. Keep in mind we were running late.
We were running late.
And it was raining that day, and we arrived to the stadium. And it's like, just pull up to the arcade or something like that.
So
right?
it's one of the ramps. I'm not going to give away the exact location.
Yeah.
But it's one of the ramps.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is player entrance. I'm assuming this is like backdoor entrance.
Like we were walking through where like Mike Shifley and like some of the greats have like walked in.
Yeah, it's close. Like you park, and then I would say probably 10 meters.
Yeah. Well, not only our teams coming there; those are all anybody coming into the city that's going there.
Yeah,
like
performances. Snoop Dogg just performed there. Like
it was an experience, and then the stadium is right in front of you. It's like 20 feet away. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you see all like you're in a tunnel almost, and then we look to the right. Security guards are there, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to do a podcast," and they don't even know who we are.
They're like, "Good for you."
They're like, "Good job,
thanks, appreciate it." Until we say,
and then we just walk right in, and then shout out to Stephanie. She meets us there from the Winnipeg Sea Bears, and we're watching the whole team practice.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Yeah,
like I've been to high school practices, but like do you realize like how small everything looked?
Yeah.
Or everything, like you looked at me at one point and you're like, I think I can dunk on these nets. But you realize these guys are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9",
Yeah.
that the nets look so much smaller.
Yeah, I was like, man, I can dunk on this net.
And then we got on the court and you're like looking up.
The scale is insane.
Yeah, but it was just like empty stadium. Like it was the best way I could describe it was like I didn't believe it. You know?
Yeah, it didn't set in.
Like it didn't hit me. I think it still doesn't. It hasn't even hit me that we did a podcast in the center of the biggest stadium in Winnipeg. That it's a mind-boggling idea to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I gotta agree with you in that case. Like I still can't believe, like looking back at all those photos and just the footage we shot and everything. I'm just like, wow, like
We did it.
we did that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I don't think anybody else has done something like that in the history of Winnipeg. Like center court doing 100%. An interview like that. You know?
I don't like that's a bold statement. History of Winnipeg, you know.
There's a lot of
It's hard to say though. Has there
any podcast? I don't. That's where I don't.
We've only been in this game for 3 years, so I
guess
don't know how many
there's
people.
probably been like standing interviews and stuff like that, right? Of that.
But
kind
like
of format.
sit down, pull up the chairs.
No, we did something.
Like it was crazy. And then yeah, practice is over. Chad comes up to us and like dabs us, says hi, and he's like, "You want to play basketball?" And then he looks at Stephanie and she's like,
Don't have clearance. No clearance.
we don't got the permission to let him play here.
They hurt themselves on this court and it's not on us.
Yeah.
You know?
Like liability. I get it. Like she's doing a job.
And then it's like we start, moving the chairs around and moving the tables around, setting up, and it was just it's like we ran it for like an hour. Like it was a good moment, and then we set up and did our thing.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I remember you guys saying both, you were like, well, man, the nerves are going right now. And I don't know why, but I had absolutely no nerves until the moment that we finished. And then it was like a tidal wave. I was like, oh my God, like, holy Christ. I know I was just locked in, so focused the whole time.
I think it was more about the opportunity itself that I was nervous about. Well, in the podcast, it was like...
No, once we sat down and started talking, no problem. My only thing was, we gotta make sure it records.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That was the only thing I was like, we have to make sure triple check everything because
that's why
you don't get a second shot at this.
Yeah, that's why it took me so long to set up. Like you can ask Diva. I was like, Diva, I know you recorded, but can you like triple check it? He's like,
yeah.
Get off my back.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and then the podcast went smooth.
Episode did well.
I think even in the podcast, you can realize I was just like in moments, like I was just looking around. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I sent a text after. I was like, yo, like take these moments in because eventually it's gonna be like, because to Simon and to like Steph, like they've been in that arena, and so it's not like crazy for them, especially like they practice there. Simon shoots hoops.
Doing their job.
That's their job, like right, you know.
Going to work.
But it was like all the moments, like all the past 3 years of all the ups and downs, and like. We get to this point and it was like we earned this. It wasn't like it's not like some handouts or it's not like we earned this, like respectfully so. We earned the right to be in that stadium, be in that position, and it was just like the best moment ever. And that was a feeling after we like finished. And I don't know if you remember, you might have seen this, but like I was like walking around and I was just like looking and I was just like, wow, like this is so surreal. Like no player, no one else except for like 5 people in that whole stadium.
Yeah. And after Simon left, there was 4 of us there.
Yeah.
And so
it was quiet. Yeah. Just us in there and our lights and our
That's one thing I think we both were like, Devo, you realize, especially being behind the thing, like it was quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were originally thought it was gonna be echoey. It's a big stadium. There's like it's a bowl, it's a giant bowl, but dead silent, like soundproof and on point.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did. I don't know how they did it.
Audio the picture quality was
quality. Beautiful.
You know what I think it is? From a perspective of being in the stands, everything sounds loud because that's the way the stadium is built. But when you're on the floor, it's quiet because the sound projects upwards, right? It doesn't come back down at you. It's such a large area. Like all that sound just dissipates. It's not bouncing off any walls unless you're next to the wall.
All I can imagine was when we were walking up the tunnel, I was just imagining like, close your eyes for a moment, boys, and like imagine it's just 204, 204, 204.
Yeah.
And then we run into the
That's next. That's
the moment.
We've done the empty stadium. Now we need to do the full stadium.
The full stadium.
100%.
Do you think we could sing "Oh Canada"? Like, yeah.
Ooh, Canada.
Like, how confident are you feeling if you get that email?
But,
I don't know. I'd probably.
Two for us, you guys have been selected to sing "Oh Canada." I'm gonna mess up those lyrics real quick.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I don't think I've sung "Oh Canada" all the way through in
I don't
like
even
years.
think I know the full anthem.
Damn.
When was the last time I was in school? Yeah, whenever that was.
I'm in school, so I still don't get it. I still don't get it.
Bro, you've been sending me videos of like the "Oh Canada" being remixed.
They make some remixed "Oh Canada" these days, like
Really?
especially in high schools. Like they put some vibes on it. It's good. It's very good. I'm not gonna lie.
Got to get everybody to stand for the national anthem.
Yeah, it's good. So, but
Yeah, like it's the feeling was surreal. It doesn't feel real, but even after we left, we were like, it was just like
we just
normal
did
day
this.
on the job.
We just did this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man.
I don't know about you guys, but it takes me out for the entire day. Like I don't want to do anything after.
No, like I was
Like-
like is it?
That's a small win. And I'm like, that's we'll live. Like I don't need to do anything for the rest of the day.
Check off the to-do list.
Day's done. Day's done.
But it's also like an adrenaline dump. Like we're riding on that wave for so long, and then you get home and you're like, oh man, like you just crash.
So yeah, it doesn't hit. Definitely doesn't hit.
But yeah, from the planning to the execution to the final product, it was just amazing. Even the TikToks are doing insane.
yeah.
Like, I think it's just an all-around well-executed mission.
So 1 down, 4 to go.
Yeah.
4 more stadiums, 4 more sports teams in the city that we gotta. At least the major ones. There's
Yeah,
smaller
like Blue
ones. out there.
Bombers, NHL Jets.
Mark
Gold
my
Eyes,
words.
Gold Eyes.
If there is a big place to do anything in this city,
We'll be there.
eventually we will be there.
Yeah, we're coming. Coming for all your head tops, and respectfully. Respectfully.
No, the thing about us, I think it's we work for the moment, right? It's not like we just got the opportunity and like they reached out to us.
You gotta make it happen.
We had to climb so many ladders and steps to get to center court, like literally. It wasn't just like a straight narrow path, like
Years of work,
yeah,
right?
like
100%.
4 years.
All the little things they accumulate over time, right? So
Well done, team. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
not only the Sea Bears we had on a few other huge guests recently.
like Visage
Yeah.
was another great one.
Well, that was a remote location.
Yeah, remote.
Oh, that's insane.
Let's talk about that for a second.
That's insane.
Ali, shout out to you, man. You are an amazing businessman, a role model, and yeah, like thank you for coming on to the show and giving us the opportunity. But wow,
Great episode too, by the way.
yeah, fantastic.
Like,
I
he was a great
like Devo was giving me like the 10-minute mark, and I'm like, Devo, I'm sorry, I'm going over time.
Yeah,
Going.
do it, man. That was fucking.
And
Yeah, the locations of where these pods, especially with that 3-4 week span,
yeah, it
was
nuts.
ridiculous.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Yeah.
Where was
You know
it?
what I'm saying? Okay, we did it in an operating room. So imagine the best way I can imagine is like you go to a dentist
Yeah.
and you lie down on that chair. That room is where we were in. And this was for like cosmetic stuff. That's what they use, but it's an operation theater. There's lights. there's syringes on the side, chemicals and other some things. A full like cart that you pull out, like everything. And we took everything out and then moved our podcast setup in.
I think we have videos of that too.
Yeah.
We'll put them on the screen. But I remember walking. Like first of all, Visage is a beautiful place.
Yeah,
Like,
elegant.
Like very sophisticated, elegant.
Bougie.
Like, yeah, yeah.
Bougie.
Like their toilets were golden, bro.
Bougie.
Like
Bougie.
yeah, it was sick. But then like unfortunately we wanted to do it in the lobby, but there's no room for us to set up our equipment there. And so we talked to Ali. He's like, yeah, just go into the surgical room. And I'm like, what? Like, and so he pulls up the bed. He's like, is this enough room? I'm like, that's perfect. And then at one point we were using like the overhead lights that they shine for surgical to like shine on the, use that as our lighting. But yeah, the process was amazing. And then follow up with the conversation, like get to explore Ali's mind. And we just realized how much of a like brilliant businessman he is. And yeah. It
It's
was
all around personality too. The guy had
Inspiring, yeah.
tons to say. It seems like he's had a bit of a full life. So that's
100%.
interesting.
Yeah.
Great
and then
episode.
all of a sudden, yeah, wrap up and then make it back like
Right
we were
back.
never there.
Yeah, he walked in and he was like, let me take a picture. Because he's used to, being all gowned up, PPE and everything, and then going in. And
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. My favorite feeling is when our guests walk in and they're like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
like, this is a full, you know, this is a
it's a good
thing."
feeling.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Yeah,
100%.
I love that.
And then we got Nicole DeBay was on the podcast too, and that was another fantastic episode. Shout out Nicole.
Yeah, that was before the Sea Bears, but yes.
Yeah, that was before the Sea Bears, but
That episode has been out for a while, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you go watch it.
yeah, all the episodes by the time this comes out, they're all out.
Everything.
Yeah, another fantastic Winnipeg figure of the city and does amazing work around the city as well, and that was a beautiful conversation.
Yeah. It's cool how we get to talk with such a variety of guests.
Yeah.
I know we've had that question a lot, like, who's your niche or what's your need? Like, everything and anything. Like, we get to speak with the coolest people in the city, which is great.
And she's doing, and then we transition into Sunny with St. James and get to explore his business world.
Yeah, that's like sales. That's on like leadership. Like
that episode is probably it's another great one.
Well, and also running a dealership is just like, I think a lot of people really underestimate what it takes because they sell a lot of cars and they have to continuously sell cars. Like,
people are,
you know, like you gotta be on point all the time and making those marks, right? Like, that's not easy.
I think it just hit me and I was like, kind of like saying it out loud and hearing it. But like, bro, in the span of 2 weeks, it was like Sea Bears, Nicole DeBay, Ali, Sunny, like.
Yeah, we saw each other a lot that week. Like a lot more than.
And then on top of that, like the other business meetings that we were having, and like, oh man, it was like a full-time job.
Yeah, we saw each other a lot that week. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like
we
did a lot of work. We worked really, really hard in those 2 weeks, I gotta say.
Yep.
Because like, it's not only just the podcast and the business was starting. It's our own stuff we got going on in the background too. Family, friends, our own businesses and jobs and everything like that. And
Yeah,
man, there's lots going on.
Crazy.
You graduated, so like that's
that was it. I was in there too.
Yeah, that was a surreal moment. I didn't even know Robin was coming, and then all of a sudden I hear like I walk up and get my degree and stuff, and then I'm taking pictures, and all of a sudden in the stand I hear 204, 204, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then I look, and it's just like him sitting in the top of the crowd. I'm like, damn, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Showing out.
I went to a lot of convocation. I'm not gonna lie.
But no, man,
not to take away from your moment, but like,
no, it was like having a brother there. That was amazing, man. I couldn't beat that.
You got a degree now. What does that feel like?
Is everybody your ring?
Oh yeah, and there you go, official engineer. Yeah, it was a surreal moment, man. I think it was bittersweet, the fact that it didn't hit me that I was graduating until I was in that chair and I was looking around like, I'm never gonna have the opportunity to do this again unless I do like a PhD or a master's. But yeah, like all the like 5 years of pure hard work, like it was just for that moment, and it was worth it. Like the smile on the family's face was the biggest thing. It's like,
congratulations, man.
It's like, yeah, and self-accomplishment, right? Like I didn't even think I was gonna be able to do engineering, and I did it somehow.
Didn't you graduate as like one of the top in your class too?
No.
That's hard.
But you did get almost win that competition, the bridge competition.
Yes. Oh, that was another.
Did we talk about that?
No, I don't.
Oh, we mentioned that we mentioned that you were away.
Yeah.
For one of the. Because me and you did an episode. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so I, for the past 3 or 4 years, got obsessed with a competition at the university. It's called the Canadian National Steel Bridge Competition, and yeah, you build this small scale bridge and you compete with other universities across the world. And yeah, I fell in love with the idea of leadership, and so I got the opportunity to be captain for 1 year and co-captain for the next, and it was just like putting in the work to lead a team to success. And then yeah, last year, graduating year, we come out top 2 in Canada and 3rd globally, so it was a great.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was
insane.
Yeah, it was a great accomplishment. And then with the help of other colleagues of mine, and we got to put in a proposal to bring the competition to Winnipeg, and that got accepted. So next year, in 2025, the competition will be happening in Manitoba, and then I was also asked to join the competition committee itself to be.
W's in the chat.
yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, I'm super grateful for like all the opportunities, and all the hard work is just kind of paying off. And
Do you have a story from the competition that stands out?
yeah, there was one, and I think it was just, well, there was many stories actually.
Pick one.
The first one would be, I would say, is the construction aspect of it. We were practicing building our bridge, and we were getting 15 minutes, like under 15 minutes. The best we got was like 14 minutes 50 seconds. And that competition, we built the bridge in 13 minutes 32 seconds. And I was like, that's ridiculous. And then it was able to hold the weight, and like I think it was like top 3 in terms of how strong the bridge was. So that was amazing. But the best moment was sitting at the banquet, and every award that's getting announced is like University of Manitoba, University of Manitoba. Like it was, the reason that was so meaningful to me, it was because the first year I attended competition, University of Manitoba was disqualified. And so, and I was the only person from my team sitting with the winning team's table. And so it was weird. They messed up like the order of like the teams. And so every time an award's getting announced, we're bottom of the table. And the winning table is standing up there cheering, and I'm the only person sitting down. And that's what fueled me for the rest of the 3 years. Is like, I want that moment. I want to be able to just like know that I want to win. I'm very competitive, but it was more about like just getting the team in the right space and like allowing everyone to grow. And that was the best part. It was just like everyone, the amount of work that they put in was amazing. So
Man, whoever botched that seating arrangement,
Yeah.
they need to get a slap on the wrist.
No. They need to be
credited,
given a raise.
They did it on purpose.
No, it's like without that, I don't think I would be in the same place.
I can imagine what that feeling would be like.
It was
sitting there just like, festering.
They come back,
every
you
time
go,
they
congrats.
I'm like, oh, thanks, man.
Well done.
Congratulations.
But
It was that night. I wrote it. I wrote the feeling in my book, and every time I'd always be like, think about giving up. It's just like pull that journal out, and
Wow.
yeah, it was amazing.
That's insane. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
And I couldn't have done it without you guys. Like, I honestly, I don't think so. Like,
We didn't do anything.
no, I think you guys did more than like.
You know what?
There was moments where I would call you, bro, and you were like, bro, you got this shit.
Right, yeah.
And so it's
I
like,
did say if you you had to win. I was like, if you could show up with like another like second place or some shit, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Or not
You
only
had
that,
to win. I was like,
I think that like one great quality I at least noticed in you guys as we've grown our friendship is the fact that I don't call people friends unless they're willing to pick up the slack when I'm not necessarily available,
Yeah.
right? And like it goes without saying, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like we understand you got stuff going on in your life. If there's stuff that you have in your life that you can't attend to, and when we can help in some sort of way, we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's super important. Like
that's one thing I realized is like, man, like even you just like showing up to the convocation, it was just like, bro, I didn't expect that, and you just did. It was just like, that was real.
love. I was trying to text his sister. I was like, yo, what? I was trying to find their family. I was like, I don't know where they are. Like, I was trying to find them. And then your mom, I was like, you don't know this, but like your mom, like after we got there, and I was like, it's done, and she's like, it's done. So like, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Even your dad was like, it's done. I was like, he did well. The man did well.
Yeah, it was a moment. Yeah, like it's just, I think the real thing is having friends that like are there, but most importantly, they're not afraid to like check you. And it's like, for example, like the littlest thing of like, yo, the thumbnail is shitty, like fix it. Like, or it's just like, yo, like you're going through a lot, bro. You want to talk. It's just like the simple things of like, just be there for your friends. Like be there for the birthdays, the important moments. Like money will come, success will come, but relationships are what matter the most. And
I always say, money comes and goes, but time is something you can never buy back.
yeah, true.
So
Like be there for family, be there for friends, like smallest moments, because those are worth way more than anything else, to be honest. Yeah.
Beautiful.
agreed.
And then comes down to what else was there? You ran the marathon?
Yeah.
Or, well, the
5K. No, I destroyed the marathon.
Yeah, you were fucking insane. I didn't end up running it, but
Did you sprint it the whole way or what?
yeah, walk me through that
okay.
day. Yeah.
So they used to start the 5K right away, right? Like, so marathon starts 7 o'clock, half marathon 7:15. It's all around the same time. This one, my cousins and my uncle were running the 10K, so we got there early. You want to see like the old Canada that they play. You want to see the environment. So you go, you walk, 10,000 people running. It's insane. Funny enough, the night before, thunderstorm. Crazy thunder. There was thunder till 4 a.m. I was sleeping outside in my sunroom, so I could hear.
It was so loud.
So loud.
It shook my house.
100%. I barely slept at 4. I woke up at 4 and I was like, oh, well, we're not going back to bed. And I was actually praying that it would continue like that throughout the race. Because I was like,
oh, that's
because they're not built like me. So like,
built different.
And you realize the 5K is a very like family oriented run. It's like families, kids, the age group running. It's not like I would say a lot more older people run the marathon compared to younger. So the 5K is a very small group of individuals that run. And so I was like, I'm gonna beat everyone if it's thunderstorming out. But anyway, we get there for 7, watch everyone, the gun goes off, marathons go, half marathon, they run. And now my turn was 45 minutes after the next race. So I just have to stand there for 45 minutes. Like, just, I don't even know what to do, but I knew it was game day. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like, I have 45 minutes, I'm walking back and forth, doing little stretches. But 45 minutes is a long time to just wait.
You're waiting for all the other...
No, so they all left.
Oh.
5K or full marathon, half marathon, 10K, they all left. Now I have 45 minutes for me to... My race starts at 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So a long time. And now it's also sunny out. There's no rain on it's not raining. So like, I'm like, oh, I gotta run.
Now I gotta run.
And like I said, a lot of young kids run the 5K.
Yeah.
So I'm just in the zone. I get in there and I'm looking around, scouting the competition a little bit. All these like 7-year-old kids that I'm about to destroy.
Absolutely leaving your dust.
But you know, and so I get into my position. The whole thing starts, and I'm like, it's game time. Like I was like, I've said this before. Every marathon I ran, I was like prepared to die.
Yeah.
Like I generally like said bye to my mom the night before. I was like, it's nice knowing you. This is it. I'm good. Like I'm putting everything on the line here, and frankly, I did. They go, kids sprint.
Yeah.
Right. Timing wise, 5K. The fastest I've ever ran a 5K before that, 28 minutes. And my goal going in was under 20.
Yeah.
Damn,
and now keep in mind, like, and so maybe like 10 days before the actual marathon, I ran just 1 kilometer at a 4-minute pace. Dead. Mm-hmm. Like I was destroyed.
Yeah.
But I was like, they'll catch me at the end. So I was willing to sprint for the 5 entire time.
Sorry, let me just interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
Just remember what David Goggins says.
Yeah.
On the other side of the horizon is the sunrise.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? So
I was gonna say, who's gonna carry the
push
boat?
yourself to death, pushing yourself to near death limits. You know, that's when you start to see the sunrise, right?
So gun goes off. These kids sprint.
No, I bet.
No, but like faster than my sprint. So I was like sprinting, but I also like knew that it's 5K.
Like a well.
Right. So I was very much ahead of my pace. Very, very, very fast. Like almost like half a kilometer in, I'm dripping sweat, like dripping, and my heart's beating at 210.
Oh,
it's quick. Like it was at 210 for 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
It was not healthy. That's why I was like, listen, I was like, I'm gone. Today's the day.
Yeah.
But these kids sprint, and you realize a kilometer in, they're all. I see them walking. So here's what my goal was: 1, I'm not gonna stop, and 2, I'm not gonna let anyone pass me.
Yeah.
And so these kids would try. And I see them, and I'd run even faster, and then they would eventually slow down because it's just, again, built different. And so yeah, went 2 kilometers. I was good for the first 3. At 3 is where I hit. I was like, this was like it. I was like severe cramp in my like right leg. I still feel sort of like a little bit of pain, and it's been a week plus. So I felt it, and then I could have easily like. A part of me was like, maybe I should walk this short period because I knew it wasn't long. Keep in mind, you're in the university circle, so you see the stadium right when you turn like 3.5K. So at 3, I was like, maybe I should just walk this half to sprint the end. But then I was also like, I recorded this entire journey. I knew certain people were going to be watching my time.
Yeah.
And that's out of love and hate. I knew certain people were going to be watching my time. And the same way I was watching their time. So I was like, nah, screw it, they'll catch me. And so every time I felt like, and there was like 5 moments where I felt like just slowing down, I actually sped up. And it hurt my leg. I was in pain. Like I genuinely was in pain. But then you turn around the corner and you see the stadium, and then after that it doesn't matter. Because you see the stadium, it's still 2 kilometers till the stadium, but you see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, screw it, they'll catch me. And so I just sprint, go all the way in. Yeah, threw up at the end, for sure.
Oof.
Because you run,
Yeah.
and then you stop. And then, yeah, just threw up. Happens.
Oh, yeah.
Got my medal, and I didn't know what my time. So my cousins ran the 10K, and so I was like, oh, I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
Because you're running 10K, and I'm
they
going to be
were the
quicker.
people.
But they were, since we started 45 minutes late, they just finished as I was finishing.
Nice.
And so I finished, got my medal, saw all the Dakota people there. They're always there for Voni, Yakachuk. Just love. Just love. And then, yeah, I didn't know my time, actually. I didn't know. Like, I just knew I was quick, but I didn't know, like,
You didn't do your Apple Watch or anything?
No, I didn't. No, I was
okay.
just like, I'm running. Because if I knew I would be checking it, I'd be like, okay, I'm at this. So I was just like, I'm just running.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to know what my pace is. I'm sprinting.
Yeah.
So, like,
You know, that's kind of almost better because I think there's psychology behind that where if you don't know what the time is kind of thing, like the time starts to go faster, right?
Yeah.
So like it's the same thing as like if you're running, if you really don't know what pace you're running at, it almost makes you want to like, okay, you start to think like maybe I'm going too slow and you go faster, and then at the end of it you look and you're like, holy shit, like I went really fast, you know, like.
So got the medal, went up, and then got the food. And then I would say probably like an hour later, I was like let's check stats, because it takes a while. You can find it right away, but I didn't have the app on my phone to check the stats right away. So I downloaded the app, and that took a while. And I looked, and I was like 23 minutes, which is like a 4-minute 39 pace.
Yeah.
Fast as fuck, boy. So
that's a really fast.
it's
That's a good
quick.
pace. Yeah.
23 minutes was insane. I like never ran anywhere close to that. The first time I ran 46 days ago, when I first decided to run the marathon, or like the 5K, I ran in 38 minutes. So to drop it by like
More
so
than 10
much,
minutes
like
is
more than
crazy.
10, like in 46, and I keep my, I didn't even run all 46 days. Yeah.
You took 15 minutes off your time. That's insane, man.
Yeah. And so then that whole day and the day after, yeah, I was cocky. Bro, I like finished top 4. I tied for 4th place in my age group, top 40 overall.
Yeah, that's insane.
In running up, 2,000 people ran, and I came 40th.
Yeah,
That's
great.
ridiculous to me.
That's
And
pretty good.
in 46 days.
Yeah.
Not to mention, like, there's people who train for years and years on this. So,
I was gonna say people
So-
train for a lifetime to do this stuff.
so yeah, I felt great. I felt great. On top of the Sea Bears came out, on top of, like, things are great.
Or living the
Like,
life.
it was
We're
great.
living the
I could not complain. But yeah, a funny thing, I'll tell you this on air. Somebody came up to me after. He's like, "Oh, where's Arsh?" And I was like, "You gotta text him.
Yeah.
You gotta text." And he's like, "Well, he inspired me to run." I was like, "You make sure you text him and tell him that he's not here."
Oh, I know who it was.
Yeah.
I know exactly who it was.
So he ended up doing pretty well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I don't know. I chickened out. I chickened out. That's
happens.
probably what it is.
It happens.
Yeah.
Too much going on.
I think so, but like I could have done it, but
You also don't want to injure yourself too.
That-
And that's the one thing I also told you. I was like, I don't
That's-
know. Don't. It's not.
to me it's
worth
an
it.
excuse. To me it's literally an excuse. It was just another way of like another reason.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But,
But
like, I
again, you
could've
don't
cut-
want to long-term injure yourself. I'm willing to long-term injure myself for that
No,
thing.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't want to, but like it should have them. I don't know.
No, you don't- like.
Yeah.
You just recently had a soccer injury, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you don't want to do that. Like, you absolutely don't. But
yeah, just to give them context, there was something I couldn't walk for a week from my knee,
yeah.
but and so I tried. The
did,
day
you did.
I texted after the podcast. I was like 16K in, and I was training for like I just wanted to see how much I could go. And yeah, my knees just like started buckling, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. And then I was like, maybe I'll do the 10, right? I was gonna do the 10.
Yeah.
And then by the time I got around to signing up, it's like, oh, you can't even sign up for any of the events. And I'm like, oh, great.
It's too late. It's too late.
So-
It's fine. You missed. You missed.
I missed it, but
You get it back.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm definitely doing the full for sure.
I think you have to. I think it's a mental challenge that you just kind of have to get over.
Yeah.
It's just it's very.
Because like there was people like that I know didn't even train at all that did it, and I was like,
Yeah.
I could have done it.
It's a very fun game.
Yeah.
It's not fun actually. It sucks, but it's a good mental hurdle to get over and be like, you can do that. But now I don't know what to do because I've done
Iron Man.
Yeah, that's probably what's next on the line. But I have no interest in running the marathon again. Like I'm, like my uncle was like, oh, like come top 5 in the 10K. The 10K 10 top 5 is like 35 minutes, and I'm like,
Pretty crazy.
like I could, but I don't feel the need to do that anymore. I did like the 10K the first year I ran was just to.
Well, try to qualify for like an actual big race, like a Boston.
I don't like that. Doesn't entice me though.
That's a sub 3.
I know it's insane.
Full marathon.
That it doesn't like. I'm not like in love with that. Like I honestly don't love running either.
Yeah,
I just did it to say I could. Like 1 to get all 4 medals and 2 to like the cherry on top of like top 4. I'm like top 1 would be great, but like it's fine. Like I'll live. So I've done that now. I don't know. I'll pick some sort of physical journal.
Did
journey.
at one point in the race, did you think you couldn't do it? Like, was there a moment?
Yeah, like there was a small period of like I should just walk this.
Yeah.
But then I think the social media part was a big thing as well. Of like I had told people, and I knew people who were like looking. But there was also like the forbidden pre-workout that we're not supposed to take.
What did you take?
No, like the heartbreak.
Yeah.
So I knew that was gonna.
Gotcha.
That was gonna push. I knew that was gonna push a little longer.
Yeah.
Especially because I knew the person was running.
Yeah.
So I knew people were watching. I knew that people were watching.
You had a reason.
I had people, and so I was like, I'll show you. Build it.
Yeah.
It's great. W's in the chat. Life's good. Life's good.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
Big life updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. That's big. When you texted me that, I was like, fuck yes.
Yeah, it didn't hit me right away. I was like, oh, like I actually like beat these kids. I also beat my age group, but like I also beat these
kids. The text you
kids.
sent me was like, yo, which pictures look good? And how do I respectfully say I'm better than y'all?
Yeah. I was like, which?
He's like, what's the caption? I'm like, bro, just.
There's 2 pictures, and I was like, which one of these pictures represents that I'm the G?
I am the man.
I am him. Yeah. So,
that was
beautiful. I can't ask for more. Like to end it that way, it was beautiful.
Yeah, good job, man.
Can't end it.
Man, this past month has been insane for us.
W's in it. Shot.
Like
There's been a lot. There's been a lot. Yeah.
It's so much going on. So many life changes. But the people stay the same. It's like like the mission's still the same. Do the biggest and best things in Winnipeg and put that on the map.
100%.
We'll see what we get up to next. We're approaching 150 episode, boys.
Yeah, if you have any ideas for the 150th, please. We definitely have ideas.
Put them in the comments.
But
even though y'all don't comment, but like, hey,
put
them in the comments.
But please, if you have some idea that we can do something big for 150, because that's 3 years. Yeah. That's 3 years. Well, 52 episodes, but like,
it's
there. It's there.
150 episodes.
It's 3 years of content. So.
By the way, we said we were going to do 52 episodes this year, and I think we're pretty on track.
Yeah, we'll have 52.
Yeah. I think there was.
It's an episode a week.
We missed 1 week, right?
We'll make it up. No.
Did
like,
well,
I don't even think we did because.
We definitely did.
Did we?
Yeah, because there was technical issues and we weren't able to.
That's right.
It happens.
Anyways,
that's not the point.
But either way, we're right there. Yeah.
150. We're approaching it fast. So if you like us, support us, please hit that subscribe button. Give us a reason to keep putting the city on the map. And we'll see you at 150.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate all your support. See you later.
Amazing. See you.